Okay, let's go.
Episode 2, Who's Nishawn and Christa?
I think that when we're doing it, and we're gonna let this all play out.
Okay, well,
I think when we're like, it should all just be like we're talking and then we go into it.
well, great. I mean, and I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I just wanted to at least say, hey, who's Nishawn and Christa?
Oh no, let's get. I mean, we're gonna get to that, but I wasn't really done talking about Gail.
Well, let's talk about Gail.
Well, all I'm saying is that I think she's on a nationally syndicated broadcast, and she has like a certain look she has to maintain. And I think that Miss Gail looks very nice. Now, is her hair as nice as Miss Oprah's?
No.
I don't know. But it's okay because she's Oprah Winfrey's best friend.
You know her hair is not right.
Well, that's what they said about, what's her name? The sports analyst. I cannot remember.
Jamil Hill?
No, I'm going to have to Google it. But they were making little memes out of her with the little thing from Star Wars, that Chewbacca. And I was like, don't do that to her. Don't do that to this Black woman who has entered a space that is predominantly handled by men.
Right.
And she's kind of like broke into an industry where you just don't see a lot of women. So anyhow, God, what is her name? I'm gonna have to Google, because this is gonna drive me crazy. Black. Anyhow, you go ahead. What are we doing today, Nishawn?
So we're gonna kind of give a little bit, give our viewers a little bit of information about who we are, and then we'll go into some other things. So the first thing is we're gonna kind of give a little bit of background. I'll go first. So hey everybody, I'm Nishawn Wright, and I am originally from Richmond, Virginia. Moved to Knoxville, Tennessee about 6 years ago because I met my husband, and well, it just worked out better that I would make the move. But
why are we always moving for men though?
Well, let me just say this.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you why I left, and this is what I told my husband, and he'll tell you. I said to him, I'm not leaving Virginia unless I'm a married woman, and he made sure that he came to VA.
Put a ring on it.
2 up, 2 down. He came to VA and made sure he married me, and we came back married to Tennessee. So that's how Nishawn made the move from Richmond, Virginia to Knoxville, Tennessee. Big up to Richmond, VA, my hometown. But that's why I came. But before I met him, I was going to Charlotte, North Carolina. You could not tell me I wasn't going to Charlotte. I had went down there the previous for my birthday, matter of fact, and went with some girlfriends and scoped out the town, did a lay of the land. But if you would have ever told me I was going to end up in Knoxville, I would have been like, "You're right."
You would have laughed. You would have laughed in front of all of us.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, I feel like a lot of Black people, and probably because the success rate and the ability to increase your income there is a lot greater than it probably here is in Knoxville. I don't know. I haven't looked at the statistics, but I feel like it is. There's a lot more of us in Charlotte. I know I have a girlfriend that lives there. I have another girlfriend who moved there. I had another girlfriend who was just talking about moving there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's definitely a city where you can be very successful as an African American, and I think that's what draws people to Charlotte. And it's just a fun city. Like I used to go down there back in my heyday.
Was it CIAA that brought you there? I went there and still have fond memories.
Oh my gosh. My girlfriends and I had like the best time. And this was like a annual thing we would do.
Yes.
And it was like the highlight of like the year. Mm-hmm. And met so many like fun people down there too. But nobody that I talked to today, I couldn't tell you who I met down there. But all I know is it was always like good, fun times though.
Yeah, it was. I still remember when we first went, and even when we went to Essence. Have you been to Essence?
So here's the thing. I was in New Orleans, and we were there during Essence Fest, but we didn't actually go to the actual concert.
Don't feel bad. Neither did I.
But we had the best time. Same. There are these like huge like drinks called grenades,
and you walk around with them.
My gosh,
on Bourbon Street.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Listen,
we did too.
That was another trip with me and my girlfriends, which saying all this, ladies, we need another trip. Okay. I'm just put that out there. It's gonna come. But we we have like, so I imagine with most girlfriends, they have like little things that happen and they'll come up with little words or sayings. So one year that we were there was an incident that occurred. I'm not going to go into the incident that occurred. And it wasn't any of us. It was actually with someone who had joined us that year, someone who wasn't like in our core group, but we were all friends with this person. Anyhow, point is, something happened, and the word for the rest of the trip that we had made up was Vandersluted, because like the situation we couldn't find a word that really applied. So I think my girlfriend Kiva mentioned it, and we've ran with that word
ever since.
Like even to this day, it's the funniest thing. But like, there's nothing better than trips with girlfriends. I need them, and I just want to. Pam Oliver is her name.
Pam Oliver. I don't know who that is.
Girl, look at this.
Oh, Pam. Oh, I do remember her from NFL.
But y'all know how.
So she was the NFL sportscaster.
I think she still is, isn't she?
I don't know.
But they clown this woman for her hair, her hairstyle for like years, and I'm like, but she's had so many accolades. She's like broken so many barriers.
But people get distracted,
and people are so lame that all we can think to do. I was a part of it too. I'm just trying to be like, I'm trying to rise above it today, but. I was all up in it and running with the memes when they were coming out. It was not my finest moment, but
I just look. My point is this: don't give anybody anything to talk about if you can help it. And let's be on point.
Gail's giving somebody.
Let's be on point with our appearance, ma'am. Especially when you're on national TV.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
You have no excuse. You make that kind of money. You need to do better. I'm sorry. Take care of our mouth, which is our teeth.
Oh, gosh.
And let's take care of our hair. Because those are the things that people see. And of course they see your face and then they see what you have on. Right. So let's make sure when we step out and we're on point.
Correct.
From the top of your head to the sole of your feet.
Exactly.
Come on here.
And men too, self-care. Like I think that more men are getting into self-care nowadays. Like they'll go and get a pedicure. They'll go and get the manicures,
massages, facials. My husband does all of that. I'm like,
my boyfriend does that. Well, he'll just do the pedicure, but massages, I think
that's good though.
Like
that means they care about themselves.
Yeah, but also like your body needs to like be rejuvenated every now and again. And so why not do these things to just kind of pamper yourself and just like take a moment to just relax? I feel like a lot of times people are just always go, and I don't know. I find it hard sometimes to stop. It's just, which is not the worst thing, having a full life. Like, I think, you're going to be busy, but it's really important to take some time for yourself. So
that's true. So I'm going to finish back with my background.
We went off on a rant.
We did.
That's going to happen. Just
I know.
Get used to it.
But it's fun though. But real quick, a little bit about me. Aside from being in mortgage, I also have an online jewelry store because I love jewelry.
Oh
I'm
my
a
gosh.
jewelry junkie.
Tell us more. I love jewelry too.
The name of the business, it's called Mommy's Closet by Margot, and it's pretty much loosely based off of my mom and things that I saw in her closet growing up. The woman has always been stylish, from her jewelry, her clothes, pocketbooks. I mean, always. And as a little kid growing up, I would look at her and I would be like, how do I belong to her? Like, she is just so beautiful. And then there's just
grace,
me.
Honey. Yes.
And I remember my brother went on a trip, he and his wife. They came back. This was in 2015. And I remember kind of being stuck, in what I do for a living in my career. And I just kind of felt like, what do I really want to do? Am I really satisfied? Am I really happy with what I'm doing?
Right.
And I was like, what? I don't know what I want to do. And so he came back and he gave, we talked about an idea to, why don't you bring the love of jewelry that you have to other people? You and mommy. We call her mommy.
I call my mommy too. It's fine.
Me too. Yeah, she's always going to be my mommy.
Ripe age of 39, she will always be my mommy.
Same here at 42. Yeah. So that's when the idea was born. Mommy's Closet by Margot. My mom's actual name is Margarita. She is an Afro-Latina. I have a Hispanic background, meaning or Hispanic origin. So meaning my mother and father, my father is deceased. They are both from Panama. So their first
I
language.
did not know that.
Yeah, first language is Spanish.
Do you speak Spanish?
Un poquito, hablo un poquito, pero not a lot.
No hablo español. Stop you right there.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, go ahead, girl. I didn't know that.
But mom and dad, they are first language is Spanish, and of course they moved here to the States. And it's funny. They really wanted to make sure that they learned the language, right? And so we didn't. It's funny. They would talk to each other in Spanish when they didn't want us to know what they were talking about.
That's so funny.
But then they didn't necessarily push for us to learn it fluently, and I wish they would have. And my mom says, "Well, it's never too late," and I'm like, "Girl, it's different when you're older."
No,
but we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna learn it some more. I mean, I know it, so if someone's talking, I understand.
Oh, so you can like hear and understand, but you just can't like verbally.
I can speak it. I just have to force myself. I have to force myself to do it. But when you're not around it as much, you lose it, so to speak. Now, when my brother was in Florida, he definitely was picking it up more because he's around. You have a bigger Hispanic population in the Florida area. Right. He was there for 8.5 years working for Disney. Oh, so wow. He really, in his mind, thinks that he is Hispanic. And in reality, we are. But we were born here. Well, he was born in Germany. My dad was in the military, so I was a military brat. So that was, our childhood. I mean, we had foreigners as parents. They came to the States for a better way or better life. And my dad joined the military, and we did a lot of traveling. So we lived in Germany for 8.5 years. So that's where I grew up for most of my adolescence.
Yeah. What was Germany like? I've never
been
it was
there. Nice.
Really?
It was really nice. We still went to school, even though it snowed. So none of this.
That doesn't happen here in Knoxville. A little, if there is even a hint of snow, school's closed. It's infuriating. I'm like, okay, we adults still have to work and go about our work life, but you got to deal with this whole. Yeah. I
still remember my bus driver's name. Her name was Helga, and we used to ride in a Mercedes-Benz bus.
I had a visual of I feel like, was Helga big?
No, she
no
actually
shaming,
wasn't.
No fat shaming, but I feel like
she wasn't. But
a name like Helga.
She was sweet too, actually. And we drove in a Mercedes-Benz school bus. It was a white bus with a green stripe on it. I'll never forget it.
Y'all were fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like those big yellow buses that we have.
We used to call them cheese buses. The yellow cheese. But yeah. So anyway, long and short of it, did a stint there in Germany because my dad was in the military, and then we moved here to the States. And Virginia was where we ended up going back to, which is where I'm from. I was born there. And so long and short of it, we lived in VA. I was ready to leave VA because I wanted to live someplace different. I wanted to experience somewhere else new. And so Charlotte was where I was going. But now I'm here in Knoxville, and I'm making it. I'm putting my stain on it, my mark on it. I'm here.
Yes. And we are happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I mean, I've been here. I grew up here. So this is home to me. Hence the orange. And we're not going to talk about you not supporting. We start supporting our balls when it's football season. We do it on Fridays. I send my kid to school in clothing for the game. Actually, he's got a shirt on, and it's through his father, but it says Gator Killer, and it's got a gator on it. And it's huge because we're playing Florida tomorrow.
It's a big deal here.
I'm going off track. We're going to come back to that. We're not ready for that just yet. But I was born and raised here. I went to Farragut High School. Once I graduated, I went to UTC. Mm-hmm. Go Mocs, even though.
And what does UTC stand for?
University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So it was an hour and some change. I say hour and some change.
It
for
is.
Everything. Yeah, it's not far.
It's right up
the
road.
It was just far enough because I was like, if I need to get home, which in my, like, I'd say after my second year, I was like, I'm ready to be out. Like, I was over it. So anyhow, graduated with a communications degree, came back. I've been in like telecommunications for literally ever before I got into real estate. And I would say, in reference to why I got in real estate, I think we kind of talked about that, but it was really just seeing that disparity between Black and brown people versus other races,
Yeah.
and just wanting to help people get into homes because that is what creates generational wealth.
Right.
And those conversations, like I said last time, they have to start so much sooner. And I think seeing, people of our age group out here educating, that it's going to be reciprocated from the younger audience. That's what I would hope, and that's what I am, I guess, striving for. Right. So, anyhow, I've got a 9-year-old son, Jackson. He is probably as tall as me and wears a size 13 shoe.
Wow,
Like,
that was the size my dad used to wear.
My dad was 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was 6'5", and he wore a size 14 shoe. And so I'm thinking, my kid is 9. He'll be 10 in November. I have no idea what I'm walking into with this, but yeah, anyone who'd like to donate, by all means. I feel like he grows out of stuff so quickly, and it's like,
and they eat. Boys eat.
Yeah, he definitely eats. But I like to make meals first and then have a snack in between. And I think with doing that, it just balances things out. So he's not like just eating up everything in the pantry. Because I'm like, that's a waste of time. You can't just sit there and keep eating because So anyhow, but anyhow, yeah. So that's about me. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I'm going to add about my background, which I didn't get to, I left off with my online jewelry store. I have a degree in business administration.
Oh.
I started out at VCU, which is Virginia Commonwealth University. Big up to the Rams. And then I found out that you could go to school online and work a full-time job, which is pretty much what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went ahead. At that time, VCU did not offer anything like that at that time, because I used to take night classes, and who doesn't remember a night class where by the time you would go in at 7 at night and come out at 9:40. So by the time you get home, it's after 10.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I can't do that anymore. So I had a girlfriend who worked over at Strayer University,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, why don't you try to do this? At that time, my mom was actually taking classes on Strayer University online. She was getting her master's, and she said, why don't you look into that? Actually, it was her. And so I reached out to a girlfriend of mine, and she was working there at the time, and I went ahead and finished up my undergrad with Strayer because it just was better for me and my schedule at that time.
Right.
So yeah, I've done that. And then of course, been in mortgage, honestly, since I was 19 years old. Okay.
Wow.
So it's been a long time, but then I also diverted and tried to work in different areas, which is, your local government. So I got a chance, because I've always had an interest about politics and how government functions and works. And so when I had an opportunity to work for the city of Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to me because that I wanted to see exactly how the city government functioned. So that was a interesting time to do that and to see it, but I got a chance to do it. So left mortgage after being in that for 11 and a half years.
Wow.
Jumped into that, and then I said, well, I'll get back into it. And I did, and the rest is history. So that's how come the mortgage history has been 18 years, because that's pretty much what I've done. So
wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to up my resume. I'm like, I had just like a super boring life compared to Nishawn.
Really?
No, I'm totally kidding. No, I think your story's super fascinating.
And so is yours.
I don't think it's that fascinating.
And I have two stepdaughters. One is 25 and the other one is 21. So yeah, husband and two bonus daughters.
Got a full house over there.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about what episode we're on, which
Uh
episode 2, guys. This is
episode
2. And I think we're going to take a minute here to do some celebrating. I brought us some champagne. We
I'm
launched
knocking things down.
our first episode this morning. I'm like trying to do this like gracefully and it's not happening. Anyhow, we launched our first episode, so I just thought it was only right to have a celebratory moment.
Woohoo!
So I'm gonna say this. I drink champagne, but I don't ever open champagne. And so
that part.
This is gonna okay, here we go.
Okay, that looks not too bad.
Yeah, no, I mean I just had to figure out where to open it at.
Wow, she's fancy. She brought
these are from my house, yeah.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
I'm a champagne and wine girl all day long. And if we're gonna drink champagne, we gotta drink it in the right kind of glass. Am I the only person?
No, because
that's
if
like
I go to a restaurant,
I don't give me stemless.
If you bring me
and we popped it.
Stop, guys. My entire pants are soaking wet. Stop.
Uh-oh, are you okay?
I mean, obviously I'm not, but what am I going to do about it now? Nothing. Okay. Oh my gosh. This was not so I was just like twisting the cap.
And you didn't think it was gonna pop like that?
No, I didn't think it was gonna pop like that.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
oh my god.
So a nice
so your
what
pants?
happens in a lot my pants are definitely.
Oh my god.
All right, that's cool though. It's a part of the job. Oh wait, we need more. Wow. That
dang.
I know.
I'm so sorry. I wish we probably should have had like a towel in here.
Girl.
And a bucket?
This
to put the
towel, a bucket, a whole new
wardrobe change. Dang, I have to work today. Look at all this. Are you okay? I don't have anything to give you.
No, this is classic Christa. Like, I'm the most clumsy person. Like, I am the girl that will be walking in the grocery store and I trip over absolutely nothing but my own TV. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you can ask anybody. I am the clumsiest person, but cheers to launching our first episode today.
Cheers, friends. Cheers to many, many more.
To many more. Yeah. So let's see. That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good.
And it's not even 5 o'clock yet.
I know. It's all good.
Are you okay over there?
Listen, we're going to move on. This could actually be part of the this could have been a skit for the comedy show that is coming to Knoxville. Nishawn, you tell me a little about that.
So current events, I wanted to share a little bit of what's going to be happening in Knoxville in the next few weeks or so. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Joy Coy. He is funny. He is a comedian. My husband actually turned me on to him, and he turned me on to him back in, I want to say, March of last year. I had went to Memphis for a conference, and when I came back, he was like, "Babe, I found this comedy stand-up show on Netflix." So I tuned into it, and dude is really, really funny.
Yeah.
He used to date Chelsea Handler at one point.
Yes, I had to Google the guy because
you're like, who the hell is Joy Coy?
I don't know who that is. And to be honest, as you said it just now, I thought that sounds like a name to a sushi roll.
Well,
there's a soy joy. No,
well, he's Filipino and white. So
well,
there you have
gosh, let me just stop. I'm being okay.
He makes jokes about his mom.
Does he? What kind of jokes?
He'll talk about how Filipinos are, and how anal they are, and so he's always referencing his pretty much honestly his childhood, and how he grew up. So and that's what makes it funny. He actually did a movie, honestly, that I think came out last year, and me and my husband went to go see it, and it was funny.
Really?
So he said, "Babe, he's gonna be in town. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "When is he coming?" He's like, "September the 24th." So listen, if you're looking for something to do and you want to go somewhere, he's going to be at the Knoxville Civic Auditorium on the 24th. That's a Sunday, and we're going to the 7:30 p.m. show. But definitely check it out if you're looking for something to do.
Yeah, I'm going to let you tell me about that. We'll circle back to that and you tell me how that was.
I will.
I would say I think Kevin Hart's been here before. And
I've seen him already.
And I've not gone to that. I don't know. I don't think I'm the comedy show girl in person.
Why not?
I don't know. I just think I like streaming them.
You know what? A girlfriend of mine and we went last year to see Kevin Hart at the Thompson Bowling Arena, and I think he was filming for Netflix because they had us lock our phones up.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And that was the first time I had ever went somewhere, and you couldn't even have your. I was like, I don't recall that I wanted. Who said that we had to do that?
Oh yeah. Well, if it's a special coming out on Netflix, think about you can't have
they don't
a
want
release
it
of it. Yeah,
right.
All the money they've invested. I get that. But
so that's when I realized that's why they wanted our phones pretty much locked.
Which is kind of cool in itself to be in a building or in a environment where they're doing something like that and you're a part of it. That's pretty cool. But
he was funny, and I gotta say, I was
feel
really
people have you either like Kevin Hart and you think he's funny, or you think he's just not funny at all. Some people will say oh, a Mike Epps is funnier, or I
like Mike Epps too.
Mike Epps is hilarious.
My husband doesn't think he's funny. He's like, I don't think he's that funny.
What do you think about Bernie Mac? He's probably
Bernie Mac was funny
up there in my all-time faves. Him, Cedric, Steve, those are the goats.
There is somebody that I like. Oh, Ricky Smiley is funny.
He's hilarious.
I have seen him.
His morning show is hilarious.
I miss his show. And D.L. Hughley.
Oh, D.L. Hughley is hilarious. But see, those are, so you're mentioning the greats when it comes to comedy. Obviously, Richard Pryor was a great of comedy. Eddie Murphy, great at comedy.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. But Dave's
I've seen him too.
Now that is who I would if I could go see a comedian. Dave Chappelle. I'd do Bernie Mac in a heartbeat if he was still here. Mike Epps, Steve Harvey, Cedric, those guys. Those are the ones I'd go see. I get nothing against Kevin Hart, nothing against the guy coming here. I just find that sometimes it doesn't always interest me when they're not at
big
a certain
time
level.
Well, they got to start.
Well, not even at a certain level, but just I don't know. I may not find everything to be funny, so I like to kind of learn about people, watch them on TV first, stream something, and kind of go from there.
He is funny. He's going to have you laughing. And I'm going to tell you who else I like, and I actually want to go see her, Cousin Tiara. I follow her on Instagram.
Who is that?
She is so hilarious.
Cousin Tiara.
All she does is pretty much talk shit to her kids. But the way in how she does it, she's joking about it, but it is so hilarious. And so she's coming to Nashville October the 15th. And I was like, I want to go see Cousin Tiara because she is funny.
Well, wait. So, I guess I'm curious then, because if her whole storyline is she talks shit to her kids,
she's basically just talking about how kids get on her nerves. How kids get on their mother's nerves, and how Black moms respond. For instance, you remember this when you're growing up. And you like, Mom, there's nothing to eat after Thanksgiving. It's 3 or 4 days after Thanksgiving. She's like, don't come at me telling me there ain't nothing to eat. There's some turkey in that refrigerator. There's some ham in that refrigerator. Go make yourself a ham sandwich. Get out of my face.
Right.
She does stuff like that. But the other day, I looked at her Instagram and she said, oh, so you done signed yourself up for some more shit, huh? You signed yourself up for eating practice, tennis practice, basketball practice. I said eating practice, but it was the way so it's funny.
Yeah.
And so I was like, she's coming to Nashville because she's on a tour, and she went to my hometown, and I was like, if she comes to Tennessee, I might go see her because I really crack up when I look at her stuff, and I'll send it to my friends on Instagram. So I'm gonna start sending it to you.
Okay, yeah, send it. I'm here for it. I mean, so I'd say that speaking of people who I want to see, Lil Wayne is coming.
Oh, so that's another one of the persons.
Weezy F Baby.
What you know?
Is coming to Knoxville, Tennessee
on November 16th.
But here's the kicker.
What?
That is my boyfriend's birthday.
Why don't you take him?
He does not care for
Damn. Okay. Well,
I know. So I'm gonna. My sister's going, and I feel like all of Knoxville's going.
That's
So
gonna
I'll
be.
have some videos. I'll have her send me some videos, but I'll have to catch him another time. But yeah, I'm excited. We were like a last minute apparently. Like we were like.
Well, I'm surprised that Knoxville is starting to get some people coming by to visit, and that's good. That's good because everybody goes to Nashville.
Yeah, but we support. I think there's a large audience here that does support artists like this.
That's what's up.
And yeah, I mean they're making money by coming here. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
this is good. I think for future acts that are gonna, that are going to be on tour, Knoxville very well may now start to get included in those visits. So
let's hope so. I mean,
that's what's up.
We are here. Don't leave us out. I mean, I know we're not like some major city, but in a way,
we're coming up.
I feel like we're coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you're into jazz, and
love some jazz,
and you want to go to something that's a free event.
Oh, we didn't even say. Did we say when Lil Wayne is coming?
Yeah.
Oh,
you just said it.
Did I say November?
You did. Yeah.
Jesus.
So look, if you're into jazz and you want to go to something that's free, there is a concert. It's called Concert on the Square Jazz Tuesdays. So there's going to be one coming up on September the 19th and then another one on the 26th of September from 7 to 9, and it's free and it's at Market Square. So that's downtown. If you want to just kind of get out of the house and listen to some nice music and go for free, why not?
Well, I also think that like Knoxville has been trying to implement things to do for locals to do in the city and just get out and be amongst the community. So really, I mean, events like this, it really is a great time. I've been to Jazz on the Square before. People will be out there with their little like bring your lawn chair, bring a blanket, grab you some food at any of the bajillion restaurants down there ahead of time.
Wear some shoes that you're comfortable walking in. I understand.
Or don't and let your feet hurt. Like I've seen some people down there walking, struggling.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like wear something.
Girl, take them heels.
Okay,
where are you going with them heels?
I'm just saying, wear something that's comfortable.
I tell you. But anyhow, yeah, I appreciate stuff like this, even if like you don't go all the time. It's just nice to be able to see that there's some activities to do in the city.
That's what's up.
So yeah, but I'm gonna move on to
what you want to talk about next.
What I felt like was the meme of the century a couple days ago. Did you watch the VMAs?
I didn't, and I hate that I missed it because I typically try to tune in to see what's going on. But you told me that it was pretty good.
So here's my thing. I think the VMAs is like something I started a long time ago, but kind of fell off. And I think it just depends on who's going to be there. So
and who's producing it?
Yeah. Well, Diddy got the Global Icon Award. And, we were kind of talking about this and you were like not really feeling it because of some things that have happened. And
I don't like how he did my boy Carl Thomas.
And Mace and some others.
And everybody on Bad Boy.
I said to you, he is righting his wrongs.
I will give him credit for that. Somebody got
He is legendary. He is an icon. And he should be treated as such. Nishawn, don't make me fight you across
cheers.
Fight. Okay.
Look, cheers.
Not to be on the Diddy bandwagon, but yeah, I love me some Diddy. I've been a fan. Gosh, I don't know how long, but I follow him on his social media accounts, and he's very inspiring, very motivating. He is a good example of just a hustler and someone that doesn't ever just take no for an answer. He's going to go out and just create it himself, which is what he's done with a lot of his businesses and companies. And so, yeah. Cheers,
that's what's up.
Cheers to Diddy. But
so he got what award again?
The Global Icon Award.
All right. Well, good luck. I mean, listen.
Not good luck.
Look,
he's a billionaire, honey. He's got more than luck on his side.
I'm just going to say congrats.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And
absolutely.
Listen, I'm not even going to sit here and be like, but now look.
For a black man doing his thing, right, in an industry that wants to control you, wants to monetize off of you, but not give you any of your profit, but you're out there doing all the work. So, yeah. cheers to him. But who I really wanted to talk about, and I love Saweetie. Let me just start by saying that I do. I love her.
Get it, girl.
I know.
Girl.
She seems like another fun girl. We were talking about city girls. Like,
I love the city girls.
I'd like to just hang out with these ladies. I feel like they would just be a good fun time. But Saweetie, what happened? What happened? The meme that was going around, she's like reading from the teleprompter. And I just don't know at what point she realized she was like not getting it. And then she tried to, I don't know, she tried to fix it. And I felt like she tried to rap through it in a way. Like she tried to make it okay. I was like, wait, girl. And then the hands, they were just, it was a lot. And she got all the memes and she called her own self out while at the VMAs when she was presenting again.
Well,
and I was like,
well, because everybody else was going.
Well, it's too late at that point. And you did get all the memes, honey. And we're going to be laughing about it forever. But then she had another situation where she was with another guy who was, I don't know, introducing or whatever, but she was supposed to be up there talking about what was to come. And she's like, takes her hair. She goes like this.
Did she hit him in the face?
No, she has no idea that she's supposed to actually go in and say something. She's like, oh, yeah. So she's just like, and it could be because she's used to being like interviewed and she just responded. But it was just like those two things combined. Luck was not on Saweetie's side that night, nor was that outfit. That outfit was giving me, who's it from Flintstones? Who's the wife?
Wilma.
I
saw the bone.
Is that Wilma's outfit or is that the other one's outfit?
I don't know. I remember telling you when I saw it, I said it's giving me Wilma and Fred Flintstone. When I was like, why do we have a bone up here, sis?
She had two bones. It was like
what
one on her waist.
That?
And the thing is, she has a amazing figure. She can wear really anything and make it look good. But that wasn't it.
Did you know that she's Gabrielle Union's cousin?
I did, yeah.
I was like, okay,
yeah,
sis.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I think again, she's put herself out there on social media, and she's inviting, and she's warm, and she seems just like a sweet girl. So,
hence the name Sweetie.
So right. So I still love you, but outfit was trash. Sorry, it was just trash. Trash.
No one was feeling the bone.
Not the bone, and then your
teleprompter snafu. I mean, listen,
I
will grant her grace in that because maybe she just you know what? With a teleprompter, you need to be able to keep up because those words they're scrolling, right? So if you mess up honestly reading a line, you're going to pretty much fuck everything else up that comes after that.
And that's what I'm saying. I think at some point she realized she had like missed it. So she was trying to make catch up, but it was not
working.
They didn't stop the and then she ended it with, I know that's right. Y'all know her little tagline, I know that's right. And I was like, girl, stop. This is so cringe. I can't. I had to just
not so cringe.
Oh, it's so cringe. But anyhow.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And it will be what it is tomorrow. Because Nishawn, what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is a UT game.
Oh, girl, stop.
Am I right?
You are right. But where is hello? You guys see what I have on. Okay. I represent to the fullest. And I told Nishawn yesterday, wear some orange. I said, I will be in my orange and white until the season is over.
Okay, let me tell you something.
What does this girl have? Do y'all see any orange? Okay, she got some white pants on. Does she have anything orange on? Nope.
I don't. So let me just say this. I'm not from Tennessee, right? And I don't drink the water here. But I do have some UT orange and white gear, right? So I will get some, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it today.
I have a phenomenal store to take you to.
So take me so I can see.
Fresh Kale.
Okay. Yeah. Fresh Kale has some stuff?
Yes.
I am very familiar with Fresh Kale. Shout out to Tina Drake.
Shout out. We love her. And we love your stuff. We love your store.
Yes, I need to go visit. I haven't been in a while.
So we can get you some stuff. But listen, so here's the reason that the game is, we've been like a rival of Florida's for ever. So as long as I've been alive, it feels like. I think it was like really around like the 90s, 2000s. And so
for the 99 and 2000.
99,
Okay, never mind. I just had
should we play some Juvenile?
Have you seen him on the Tiny Desk?
Yes, I did.
I was like, why was I not there?
I know.
I wanted to be there because I was over there. My husband was like,
took us all the way back.
Hey, what you know? I know that's those are my peoples. Anyway, I digress.
No,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
no. Listen,
Sorry.
So here's the thing.
When you said
We
99,
have been
2000,
right. It's like code. It's like code to break up. Girl, you
better back that thing up.
I know. No,
I said the people at the Tiny Desk are probably like, dang.
I know. No, they knew what they were getting. But listen, so the game last year, we played them, and after years, I think 2016 was the last time we had beat Florida. So last year when we played Florida and won 30, hold on, I wrote it down, 38-33, we went wild. Like I was down in an area tailgating, like Circle Park area. People were running up and down the streets. Like I lost my voice. Like it was probably the best day in Knoxville, Tennessee that we've had in a long time. And tomorrow's game.
What time?
7 p.m.
Okay.
Now, I think people are a little concerned because of the Austin P game last weekend that we struggled with and we shouldn't have struggled with.
I'm sorry.
Girl, right. I don't know. UT, you either laugh, drink, or cry. You're going to do one or the other.
I watch my poor husband go through emotions because he is we
are bipolar when it comes to this football team.
He's a staunch UT football fan as well as Dallas Cowboys. So in
my family's
house,
Dallas. Does every black family love Dallas
Girl,
Cowboys?
What?
I have only heard about the Cowboys since I was like in the womb.
I've always dated somebody who either liked the Cowboys or liked the Redskins, now Commanders, whatever. Yeah. But the likelihood of me ending up with somebody who loves the Cowboys was just like poetic.
A no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched my husband go through his emotions with UT. He'll be screaming at the TV like, "What are y'all doing?" But anyway, I get it. So listen.
Do you get it though?
I do. Listen, I just didn't put on my orange and white. Yeah. Don't worry. What did I tell you? It's got to be cute.
And I'll wear it.
I like the fact that they had that all black uniform last year with the orange. Now that was hot.
The uniforms they wore, nice. The uniforms that they wore last Saturday were black, gray, and orange, and it was definitely giving Halloween vibes. But
that's the color.
It was super, super cute, and I like that little and like these little earrings that I have. They're like the black.
No, those
and the
are
orange.
nice.
Yeah, so it kind of like goes and ties into all that, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm just gonna just say a prayer.
Okay.
No, we got this. We got this.
All right. Well, you make sure you take me to the store so we can see if I can get some stuff to update
just let me know.
My gear.
We can have a whole day dedicated to shopping for UT paraphernalia. Oh, I got all the hot spots to go to.
Let's talk about NAREB. NAREB is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Mm-hmm. And we are a part of it.
Hold on. This is going to be like, we're going to have to pause it for like 5 seconds. And I promise we'll be back in like 2 seconds.
All right. So we're back.
Yes. After mentioning a bathroom break. Sorry about that. I could not hold it.
It is what it is.
But yeah. What's next?
We left off about NAREB. So
yeah.
What is NAREB? So basically, NAREB is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers,
right?
And we are part of it.
Yes.
I'm part
of it. Now I am.
Right.
I wasn't before.
I'm part of it in Nashville, but Knoxville just recently chartered a chapter, and we're part of it. And I think we went to our first meeting together. That was our first meeting. We didn't even realize that was our first meeting, right? Together.
Yeah, I didn't have any knowledge of this. Like being a real estate agent, I had no clue what NAREB was or is or what it was about. So yeah, I think we were invited maybe by the same person. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Either way, it was eye-opening. Yes. It was kind of like, wow, why didn't I know this? But yeah, talk a little more about that.
Yeah, so essentially what it is, it's the whole purpose is to bring together minorities that are professionals within the same industry that range from real estate agents, lenders, home inspectors, insurance agents, real estate attorneys,
title companies, yep.
Any and everybody, state licensed contractors that are in this industry, but that are minorities. Because apparently, years ago, if you were a Black real estate agent, you couldn't call yourself a real estate agent. Apparently, you were called a realist.
Realtist, yes.
So NARAB was formed primarily to, provide not only resources, but kind of like a community for people that were within that industry, because they couldn't necessarily be with others that had the same profession.
Yeah, I thought it was a way to legitimize our profession in a sense as African Americans, because it was not something that was we weren't included in the standard, title of realtor. And so I was very shocked when I found that out, and I'm thankful for the growth and the inclusion that I've seen here in Knoxville and just around like the world when it comes to just real estate agents of every race.
Right.
So anyhow, it was very eye-opening, and I'm thinking back to last night.
Right.
We met with Robert Morse and Ingrid Prather. I don't know, like it keeps throwing me off. I don't know.
I think it's Prather.
I think it is too. But anyhow, it was a group of us there, and they were speaking on some of the changes that were going to be happening.
Yeah.
And right now, if you are working with a buyer, it's pretty standard to just like say to a buyer, "Oh, you don't pay me for working with you." All of that is really done from the listing side. So if my buyer likes a house, we make an offer, gets accepted, the commission comes out of that from the listing side. That's changing, and that's going to really cause a lot of agents to have to reevaluate how they interact with their clients, because you're going to have to put it in your contract ahead of time. And in the event that your client doesn't want to agree to that, and the seller doesn't want to agree to that, I mean, it's like, how does the agent now get paid? So anyhow, I think that it was very informative what he was sharing with us of what's to come, and just really needing to get prepared for the changes that are happening in this profession. And I think this group is just a way for us to kind of connect. Yeah. And I mean, it was about 10 of us.
Yep, it was about 10 of us.
About 10 of us. Yep. And I don't know, it's difficult sometimes being in an industry where you don't see a lot of yourself, and having this organization to be a part of, it really helps. I would just say kind of motivate me in a different way. But we also had a funny waiter who will remain nameless, because we don't really actually know his name.
I don't remember his name.
But this
I asked him.
Poor soul. He couldn't get any of the order right, and there was a bit of a language barrier.
I really, I did not catch that.
I don't know how, Nishawn. He definitely had some broken English.
Oh my God.
And nothing wrong with that. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I had no idea that there was something going on with his language or English, but he was struggling. Poor thing.
Struggling is,
I know, it's an understatement.
That's putting it nicely.
We felt sorry for him, and we tried to help him do his job. Poor thing. But I think that he was a brand new waiter. That's honestly what I think. And I think when you're new and then you're serving 10 people, it can be a little overwhelming. And I think he was a little overwhelmed.
Right. But this is where my issue is. Whoever the manager is, like, why would you even put him at the table with that many people?
Right.
It just didn't make any sense. And the poor guy is just like, I think I lost a drink. And we're like, yeah, we think you've probably lost like more than that here tonight. But anyhow, it was a good experience all around. And
You learned some valuable information.
yeah, I recommend anyone in the Knoxville area who is a real estate agent, um, come join NAREB. Come out there and see what it's about. It's it really is just I don't know. It's like going to the cookout with your family.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's a support system too for
It's a
people
support
that
system.
are minorities in this world, the real estate world, right, and all the different people that you come in contact with. So it's a resource for all of us. But one of the things that that we all learned about that was discussed at the dinner last night was the for sale by owner snafu.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. And this is gonna really kind of play into like my tip. Um, my current tip of the moment is hire an agent. Hire an agent. Hire an agent every time.
Tell them
The
why. Tell them
the
why.
well,
Tell them
it's
why,
just
sis.
it's to protect you and it's to ensure that you have someone who is working in your best interest
Mm-hmm.
and someone who's skilled and can navigate those conversations and those negotiations. Because there was a conversation that came up last night about two for sale by owners that were attempting to do the deal on their own. They get to the closing table, and because of a difference in who wanted to pay for the water heater to get fixed, nothing happened. Nothing happened. So they've both lost. You know, whomever was planning to move there is starting from scratch. The person who was planning to sell is starting, it's a waste of time. So, my number one tip would be get you an agent, do your due diligence. Like, if you want to interview several, do that. But have those conversations to get someone who's going to, again, have a fiduciary duty to you and who is going to know how to navigate that world and have those conversations so you're never putting yourself in a position like that.
Where you could leave money on the table or even lose out on
I
some
mean,
money.
you can lose out, you can overpay.
Right.
I mean, there can be nothing that happens like those two people. And I don't think that that's the goal of anybody. I think the
right.
goal is to either, procure a home or to sell a home. Right. So that's the goal. And if everyone keeps that in mind, which is where an agent's mindset is always at, they're trying to find a commonality within both parties to move forward. And so, yeah, it's very beneficial to hire an agent. Get you an agent if you're looking. Me preferably.
That's correct.
Yeah,
She's
me
available.
preferably. But anyhow.
Well, I'll segue into my mortgage tip before we sign off. I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons why getting pre-approved for a mortgage is truly beneficial. You know, number one reason is you want to learn the amount of loan that you can afford. So that's huge because without that, you really put yourself in a situation where you might look at something, fall in love with a house that you really may not be able to afford.
Right.
So to avoid that, you really want to find out exactly how much you can afford, right? So the other thing is the reason why that's important is because it narrows down your home search, meaning Krista. So at this point, she knows exactly what she needs to look for based on what you qualify for.
Right.
So that's why it's important. Number 3, it makes you a more desirable buyer. When Krista puts in an offer on your behalf, it lets the seller know and the seller's agent know that, hey, this person that just put an offer in has done the work. They've taken the time out to go get pre-qualified, pre-approved, and this lets me know as a seller that my house is, someone's going to buy it, and the deal's not going to, hopefully, prayfully, not fall through.
Apart. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So it makes you look desirable. Number 4, it helps you to present a stronger offer. So I just said that.
Right.
So that's the 4th reason. And then 5, it improves the timeliness of a closing. So by you, taking the time to get pre-approved or pre-qualified, and we'll talk about the difference, it's a smooth transaction. That's the whole point. We want it to be smooth for everybody involved. So by you doing your homework, so to speak,
right,
and coming to see me as a lender,
the professional,
we'll get you set up for success so that you can just coast prayfully. But most of the time you should.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Would you try to go and change your own tire, Nishawn?
No,
Right? You would go to a mechanic, right?
someone who's a professional.
Someone who's a professional and knows what they're doing, people. So that is simply all we're saying. We're the professionals. And I do think that there are individuals out there who are very knowledgeable themselves because of their own experiences.
Correct.
But again, if that was the case, if everyone could just do it, everybody would, but they
Right.
can't. So I think that's where I think the difference is. Put yourself in a position where we're your advocates, we're protecting you at all costs, and we'll get it done for you guys. So yeah, you mentioned the pre-qual and the pre-approval.
I
I
was just about to touch on
think
that.
that's
Huge. Let's talk
I
about
do
it.
think it's huge because I feel like I prefer pre-approval for my clients, but you've said that either one. So why is it either one, and what's the difference between the two?
So, let's talk about the difference. So a pre-qual means a loan officer has been able to take an application that covers your income, assets, and credit. Those are the three main things that we pretty much look at. We gather the information from you after we've taken an application, and we make an educated review of your application by reviewing the documents that you've provided. And if everything looks great and we don't see that there's any issues because of the scenario that's been presented, a pre-qual is typically sufficient.
Right.
Now, if you have a borrower and you have a scenario where you're a little concerned, you're really not sure if this person is going to be able to get through and get approved for a loan, and you want to really feel good about it and you want another set of eyes, then we can submit it to an underwriter for them to actually do a thorough review and pretty much validate the loan officer's initial review. And if they agree with what has been submitted, then they'll issue a formal pre-approval, which is typically good for 90 days.
Well, let me ask you this. How often does a pre-qualification match up with what may come back from a pre-approval? So is it almost a guarantee that they're going to be the same, or are there instances where something might come up that a pre-qualification would not reflect?
I think it really truly depends on if the customer has a scenario that doesn't necessarily fit within the box, so to
Okay.
speak. So if they have a very, generic situation that doesn't necessarily fall within the norm, so it's kind of like a different type of situation that needs a set of eyes, then pre-approval might be needed because everyone's situation is different, right?
Yeah.
So if a person comes and they've got a sticky scenario and we're really just not sure, like if for instance you really need to get a complete true feel for what their income is, because maybe the pay stubs that they've provided is not necessarily telling us everything we need to know, or maybe even the verification of employment still is kind of not really sure.
Right.
So you really want to have the underwriter just kind of bless it, so to speak, to make sure that when they do find a property, it's not a problem,
Yeah.
income wise.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's when we will say, hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
Okay.
Let's send this into an underwriter so that they can review it. Does that answer your
Yeah,
question?
I just think that most consumers may not know the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. And are there instances where someone could get pre-qualified and then by the time they get pre-approved, it could be a different situation? But that could also be, I've seen situations where people, after being advised not to make large purchases or what have you, they end up doing something, and it really affects. I mean, it can really impact your approval amount, or if you can even get approved at all.
It is highly suggested, whether you are pre-approved or pre-qualified, if you are going to start the process to buy a house, do not do anything different.
Right.
I had a call that came in from, matter of fact, of my brother. He's wanting to purchase, and he asked me a question, and I said, if you want to buy a big ticket item, you need to really make a decision. What are you trying to do?
Right.
Do you want to go ahead? Because I told him you haven't started the process yet. So it's truly what you want to do based on your timetable. So if you want to start the mortgage process, I suggest you wait till you buy a car. Now, if you haven't started the process and you want to buy a car, then go ahead and buy the car.
But then that's
ahead of time.
But then that's that extra debt. That's adding on to your debt.
But that's a conversation that we had.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got to really think, like, what is more important to you? Can you wait? Because that is something that we're going to have to take into consideration. But by all means, if you've already started the process, do not go and buy something else like a big ticket item that's going to be reported to your credit report, because it is then going to drastically affect it in terms of your entire picture, in terms of what you can afford versus what you cannot.
Right.
So you really have to ask yourself some questions. What is it that's important? What are your goals? What are you trying to do?
Exactly. Well, yeah, super good information. I did just want to finish with a recap of my 5K.
Tell us, how did it go?
Well, it went really good. And I will say that I was not expecting to be so just inspired and motivated. Like, it was more so like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and here's what I want to do in the race. And it really just was a different feeling when I got there amongst so many different age groups. I think that was my biggest shock. And the fact that some of these individuals who are well older than me, I don't know, is that worded right? Well older. They're beyond my years in life, people.
They're rather seasoned.
They're rather seasoned. Yeah. And they flew by me. They were done, like, left me in the dust, literally. And so it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter what age you are. If you want to do something, like, just do it. Like, don't sit there and try to talk yourself into it. Just get out there, one foot in front of the other, and keep going. And that's what I did. I would say, my best time ever. I mean, it was like 36 minutes, and it was 3 miles. And so, yeah, I didn't stop. I don't do that. But it was really good. And there was a gentleman who finished last, had a group of people around him, and everyone starts clapping. And I'm like, well, you know, if people clap, you just clap. I don't know what's happening here. They get on the microphone and they announce that this gentleman had just recently undergone a double lung transplant.
Oh, wow.
I mean, my mouth dropped. Like, I was like,
wow,
you're out here
doing it, running,
doing this, and you just had a double lung transplant.
Did he run or walk?
He walked.
Oh,
and
wow.
that in itself is quite a feat, because I mean, hello, you utilize your lungs for literally everything.
Yeah.
And you're out there exerting energy that the average person with, who didn't have any issues going on with their lungs, perhaps it's hard. It's going to be a taxing on your lungs. And so for him to go through something like that, it just, again, reinforced that mind over matter.
Yeah.
And just be grateful and appreciative for what you have, and your body. Like, take care of it, appreciate this body. You only have one. So anyhow, it was very good. And I know Nishawn's looking so forward. You're looking so forward to the next 5K here in Knoxville, right? I think there's like a turkey trot or something that's going to happen.
So I hope that we do some prep to get
me there.
Okay. So yes, I'm gonna say yes. I look forward to doing this.
Say yes to the 5K, not yes to the dress, because you already did that, but yes to the 5K.
Yes to a snatched body.
Yes. Okay. So on that
note, we're gonna say that it has been fun. This is episode
2. Our episode 1 launched today, this morning.
Yay.
High five.
We did that.
And so, yeah, if you guys have any buying, selling, or investing needs, I'm your local real estate agent, Christa Leverett.
And if you have any needs for financing to purchase or even to refinance, I am your contact, your lender, Nishawn Wright. And feel free to follow me on Instagram, Nishawn_Wright, or I'm also on Facebook.
Yes, I'm going to put all my handles. I can't say listen, I can barely keep up with all my emails and my passwords. It'll all be on a handle somewhere at some point. But yes, we're reachable. And leave us a comment and let us know. We want some feedback. Anything you guys want us to cover? Any questions you guys have? Like, just drop it in the comments below.
See ya.
All right, we'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us next time on episode 3.